This is News 8 Now, this morning.
If through this sampling we find out that PFAS is a big problem, of course, we will direct more resources to it.
I mean, the jail knows who they have. Even more so, I think, to a higher degree than, a driver's license tells you who a person is.
There's a good chance that I'll be back as a retiree next year, because the fact of the matter is breast cancer will still be around, and we haven't found a cure, and we still need to have awareness out there.
We are working at bringing affordable arts to rural Wisconsin. So we're looking to reach people in the entire western Wisconsin area.
That is a preview of what we got coming up for you here on News 8 Now this morning. It is October 27th, 2022. I'm Jordan Fremstead, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm Derek Sibley. Good morning.
Well, Derek, as far as fall, I think it's arrived. I think we're here now.
Yeah, I think so too. But except it's going to feel like those, hey, what's going on? We're getting warmer again, above average, like 10 to 20 degrees. That's coming again, Jordan. Can you believe that?
That was a pretty good tease right there.
I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like back and forth roller coaster after roller coaster rides.
Mother Nature can't make up her mind, but we should be used to it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And, eventually over time, we're going to start to see that transition more into winter, and you're going to be looking at much colder temperature readings here. So get ready, get those coats ready, do that winter shopping here while you can, because we're going to be looking at these type of temperatures that you see on the map coming up more often as well. In fact, even colder. And speaking of colder, we're actually much colder here this morning than the last 24 hours for portions of our central, but especially our eastern zones this morning. We're about 5 to 10 degrees warmer just west of the Mississippi. And that is actually a sign of what is to come here, especially by later this week. We're watching some cloud cover as well move in across the Coulee region. And there is a lot more here towards the west that we're watching. There is some rain showers back to the west of us as well. I don't really expect that rain to hold together as it moves east. In fact, you can see the trends, the rain here kind of weakening as it approaches us, but instead those clouds will definitely hold together as they move east, and we do expect mainly cloudy conditions here to take over the skies as we head into later this afternoon. By 3 o'clock, our temperatures should reach those mid to upper 50s, and overall slightly warmer here despite the clouds from what we had yesterday, and that's because we're looking at a southerly wind here today, Jordan, which is going to be help warm us up here over the next couple of days. We'll talk more in depth about that a little bit later.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Derek. Well, with less than 2 weeks away from the November 8th election, big name campaign surrogates are starting to step out and support Wisconsin candidates on the ballot. On Wednesday, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren was on the UW-Madison campus. She spoke about efforts to expand voting rights and supporting abortion and reproductive rights. She also brought an economic message to the college crowd.
This election, the economy is on the ballot. Republicans want this economy to work better for millionaires and billionaires. But Mandela and Tony and Josh and all the Democrats are committed to making this economy work for everyone.
Warren won't be the last big name campaign for the Wisconsin Democrats. Former President Barack Obama will be in Milwaukee on Saturday, and next Friday, Bernie Sanders is coming to La Crosse. Meanwhile, Republican Tim Michels is getting some help from Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin on the campaign trail. Both spoke at a rally in Waukesha on Wednesday. Michels is in a tight race with incumbent Governor Tony Evers. Youngkin flipped the governor's seat in Virginia from blue to red and says it's possible for Wisconsin voters to help Michels do the same.
You see, last year, they said that a Republican couldn't win in a blue state of Virginia. Last year, they said that the media was too strong. They said the suburbs were too blue. They forgot to do one thing, ask the voters. That's what they forgot to do. A state that Joe Biden had won by 10 points, we won by 2. That means he's going to win by 12. That's what that means.
Youngkin and Michels also rallied in Green Bay on Wednesday evening. It's a common belief that voting is a right, but some people say they have to cut through barriers to access that right. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to a former Wisconsin inmate who says eligible voters in jail aren't given the resources they need to exercise their right.
In the La Crosse County Jail, a program coordinator hangs up flyers to inform inmates that an election is coming and they can register for an absentee ballot. Now, one former Wisconsin inmate says that it's not always that simple. Over the course of our nation's history, the right to vote has been expanded to reflect the people who live in this country. But people who are incarcerated are still waiting to exercise that right.
Without being able to vote, we have no voice as a constituency.
After serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, David Carlson spent roughly 5 years in jail on felony charges.
Returning from my second tour, I was incarcerated for 3 burglaries.
In the state of Wisconsin, people with felony charges cannot vote until they are off probation, parole, or extended supervision. Carlson is now a second-year law student and advocate for those who are incarcerated.
I essentially could practice law before I'm ever eligible to vote.
While Carlson can't vote, inmates who are awaiting trial or have been convicted of misdemeanor charges can still cast a ballot.
Ballots are sent here, they're provided to them with instructions of how to complete them, and then we assist in mailing them.
According to the ACLU, in 2020, 13,000 Wisconsinites in county jails were eligible to cast a ballot, but only 50 did. Carlson says identification is one of the biggest barriers that prevents inmates from voting.
Simply handing a person a form or an application, that's not going to work.
La Crosse County Sheriff Jeff Wolf says over the past few years, the county has been working to expand resources available to local inmates.
They have to go on My Vote Wisconsin, fill it out. We assist them if they need it because we give them access to a computer, or we give them a paper form where they list their most recent address and so forth.
Wolf says the La Crosse County Jail Administrator works closely with inmates to make the process as easy as possible.
Provide the assistance if they request it, and most all the time they do, so we do help them.
Carlson says he hopes to see inmates across the country be given the resources they need.
Those who are closest to the problem will also be closest to the solution.
And he says he wants everyone, including those with felony convictions, to be given the right to cast a ballot. La Crosse County Sheriff Jeff Wolf says once the election is over, the jail program coordinator then helps inmates go to myvotewisconsin.gov to find out if their ballot was counted. Reporting in La Crosse, Duo Esrar, News 8 Now.
Thanks a lot, Duo. Now, earlier this year, the Wisconsin GOP proposed a bill that would require people to complete required community service hours and pay off any financial penalties, including fines and victim restitution, in order to vote. A rural performance venue is expanding its types of performances. GET's Performing Arts Center has hosted school productions since it opened in November of 2020, but this year the center is bringing in non-school district performers from outside the region. 6 professional performances are coming to Galesville this year, and the center's creative team wants their rural community members to have a cost-effective means to enjoy a professional theater experience.
We are working at bringing affordable arts to rural Wisconsin. So we're looking to reach people in the entire western Wisconsin area.
If you are interested in buying tickets for any of the shows, we have that link available at news8000.com. An area village is being recognized for its timeless beauty. The Wisconsin Historical Society announced Bangor's Historic District is now in the National Register of Historic Places. The district was once a hub for retail sales, banking, and professional services from the 1800s to post-World War II. The buildings are now home to many different businesses and organizations. We have a link to more info about the history that you can read about at news8000.com. The Challenge Academy is reeling in the fun. For the next 3 days, 72 cadets will camp at Camp Decorah to learn how to catch and clean fish. Many cadets have never been fishing or camping before, and one cadet says he looks forward to this new experience.
I'm really excited because I've never been fishing before, or I probably have, but I forgot because I probably didn't do well or catch anything at all. So I'm hoping like I could catch a fish so I could keep it and eat it for myself.
Cadets will also go on a 10-mile hike and receive their dog tags when they reach the top of the bluff. Cadet Hughes says this is the moment he and his peers have been waiting for, and he is glad the Challenge Academy has given him the courage to change.
Ever since I've been here, I'm really grateful for this academy. Like all the benefits, pre-rap plans, all of that, they set me up for a lot of success for my future. So I just want to give my thanks basically to the academy for even like accepting me.
Officials at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Refuge joined the cadets on the camping trip to give them helpful fishing tips. Still to come here on your Thursday morning news, a new alternative for expensive electric cars is allowing consumers to go green for less green. We'll explain just ahead. And Ford is giving up on its creating self-driving cars. We'll explain more about that after the break. With that in mind, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Thursday morning. After 36 drawings in a row with no grand prize winner, the Powerball jackpot now stands at $800 million. No ticket matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday night's drawing, which was estimated at $700 million. The cash value of the prize right now is nearly $384 million. It would be the second largest prize in Powerball history, so hurry up and grab your ticket for the chance to win. The next drawing is coming up on Saturday night. It is 10 after the hour here on this Thursday morning. Your latest forecast is coming up after the break.
Quiet conditions there from City Cam 8. A little bit cold, though, especially up to the east. Volkfield, Black River Falls, Sparta, all into the mid-20s this morning. But really, the rest of us are into the 30s. And overall, that's about a huge change compared to yesterday, especially further west. You're about 5 to 10 degrees warmer, but much cooler, though, back towards the east this morning. Watching clouds here moving across the area from the south and east, south and west, I should say. And we will be expecting increasing clouds throughout the day today. Temperatures, though, are looking much warmer. We'll be in the mid-50s in La Crosse County, the South Round. 58 today in Gays Mills, and 58 as well in Stoddard. Mostly cloudy today in Arcadia, 57 degrees. Trempealeau at 57 degrees today as well. Meanwhile, Eau Claire should reach 56, and Stanley and Thorpe at 55 degrees. Cornell at 55, and Fall Creek there at 56 degrees, and looking mainly cloudy. Schoolcast this morning, 34 and a few clouds out there, followed by partly cloudy skies. Lunch hour, 50 degrees, and then mostly cloudy this afternoon. Temperatures should reach around 55 around dismissal. I'll have another check on the full weather forecast still to come.
Two unhappy customers are suing a California-based company. It's called Dreamfields Brands, claiming their pre-rolled joints were not as strong as advertised. The plaintiffs say they bought pre-rolled Jeter branded joints advertised as having a THC content, now a low, or not having as high of a THC content, I should say. Now the lawsuit claims some of Jeter's products were labeled as having up to 46% THC, but testing found they only had between 23 and 27%. The Jeter website says that its strongest joints have at least 30% THC. On Wednesday, music artist Kanye West was escorted out of the Skechers Los Angeles building. They said West arrived unannounced and without an invitation, and was involved in unauthorized filming. He was escorted out after a brief conversation. The drama comes a day after Adidas ended its partnership with West. The artist has lost a host of partnership deals after he made anti-Semitic comments. Skechers condemned his remarks, saying it has no intention of working with West. Ford is putting the brakes on plans to develop fully autonomous vehicles. Wednesday, Ford announced the driving tech company Argo AI will be shutting down. The automaker planned to develop the autonomous driving technology with Volkswagen through the startup. According to Ford, it lost about $2.7 billion on its investment. Ford has announced efforts to help workers impacted by the decision find other employment. Going green on the road can cost a lot of green. Electric cars can be expensive, so some are turning to two wheels. CBS's Ian Lee has the story.
With each crank, click, and clack, the next generation of British motorcycles comes together. Startup Maving wants to electrify a rider's need for speed.
This is the Maving RM1, Britain's first production electric motorcycle.
Co-founder Will Stirrup says its removable battery is a game changer because you can power up almost anywhere.
Kind of primary battery goes in here. You can remove it like that. Drops in automatically, automatic connection.
Electric motorcycles already roam the roads, but high-performance ones can set you back around 20 grand. And Will says cheaper ones often lack quality.
So we focused on high-quality build, British manufacturing, attention to detail, and ultimately a kind of styling that appealed to a greater number of people.
Maving's motorcycle for the masses comes in around $7,000.
I'm a big fan of the kind of electric revolution that we're seeing across cars and the motor industry.
Ryan Cohn didn't know he needed a motorcycle until he saw Mavings.
And as soon as I saw the bike, I just kind of fell in love with it.
How's the ride?
It's super smooth, super easy and super smooth.
Back at the factory, we take the green machine for a spin. This is a city bike with a top speed of just 45 miles per hour and an 80-mile range.
What is the most exciting thing about this motorcycle for you?
I think getting people onto motorcycles who'd never even considered it before, and then realizing that this part of their day that they hated, their commute, could actually be the best bit of the day.
Maving hopes the thrill of a quick and quiet ride will help drive the industry toward a cleaner and cooler future.
Now you better hope you live in a warm weather climate for that to work. Maving says it hopes to start selling motorcycles in the U.S. by the end of the year, next year, or in early 2024.
Quiet conditions now in La Crosse with temperatures at 34 degrees and mostly clear. We got an east-southeast wind at 8 miles an hour. That's making the wind chill, or the feel-like temperature, at 27 degrees this morning. Right now, current conditions in Eau Claire, 32 and mostly cloudy. Looking at a calm wind here and a dew point value of 29 degrees. Temperatures across the region are in the 20s further east. Black River Falls, Sparta, Oakfield, you guys are all pretty cold this morning in the 20s. Bundle up out there. But the rest of us, as you can see, are mainly in the 30s. And overall, that's a huge drop-off in temperatures, especially to the east. Not so much here central, but west of the Mississippi, you're looking at about 5 to 10 degrees warmer here this morning. And yeah, that's a sign of what's to come here later this week, which we'll dive into here in a second. But partly cloudy is what we can expect by noon today, 50 degrees. Mostly cloudy, 54 by 5 p.m. And then by 9, skies turn overcast. It will be then 48 degrees here early this evening, with forecast high temperatures today mainly into those mid to upper 50s, 57 today in La Crosse and 56 degrees to the north in Eau Claire come this afternoon. Now, on top of that, we're also watching some clouds here move in across the Coulee region from the west, and this is really all associated with a storm system, which we'll get to here in a second. But high pressure here that we were dealing with yesterday, well, that's now positioned over the Great Lakes, and that's going to continue to move east and away from us. So our attention turns to this next system, which is the trough of low pressure developing across the Central Plains. This system is expected to actually move away from us, but we will be looking at enhanced cloud cover, though, from this developing system to our west. And you can see as we progress through the day, those clouds will continue to be on the increase. And as we head into tonight as well. So it's really not until tomorrow morning where we start to see some clearing. Now, pay attention to the wind direction arrows because they'll be coming up from the south starting tomorrow especially. And as the skies clear out, it's going to give way to very warm and overall dry conditions here to work with. So you'll notice a difference here in temperatures even as we head into the weekend as well, thanks to that south wind really hanging in there for us here for a while. In fact, we could be as warm as 66 degrees come Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's really not tomorrow and this weekend as well. It's really as we head into next week that the warm air is going to be around for us to stick with for quite some time. And it looks like that will continue even as we head into next week as well, with those high temperatures remaining into the 60s under dry conditions and fair weather as well. Low temperatures are mainly going to be into the 30s and 40s, but then warming up into those mid to upper 40s, even low 50s as we head into next week especially. Stay with us though. Much more news and weather still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning, but we are taking a quick break. Here's a look at what happened on this day in history. We'll be right back. Bit of a cooler start for some of us, especially off to the east, where we're looking at temperatures in the 20s, but the rest of us mainly into the 30s as you head out the door this morning. We're also watching some cloudy weather here move in from the west, and there'll be some increasing clouds here, especially later today. Those of you heading off to the morning walks with you and your furry friend, looking at partly cloudy conditions through at least the afternoon. And then later today, as we head into the evening, that's when we can expect the majority of the cloud cover to move in. Mowing forecast this morning going to be at 34 and partly cloudy, and 48 and still the same skies there around 11 o'clock before turning mostly cloudy at 3, temperatures then at 57 degrees. I'll be back with another check on the weather forecast still to come, plus your commute forecast as well.
Welcome to the Blitz. The Wisconsin High School Volleyball playoffs continue tonight. The Holman Vikings are still alive. They survived a 5-set thriller over the weekend, and now the squad is gearing up for a big match on the road. The Vikings will take on Middleton High School with a chance to punch their ticket to the section final. Holman's had a monster year up to this point, MVC champs during the regular season. The Vikings were 11-1 in conference play, earning them a 3 seed in the Division I postseason bracket. Holman made it look easy over Madison East last week. Tougher test on Saturday against DeForest, but the Vikings passing that one as well. And the girls are just a couple of big wins away from heading to Green Bay. Now the Vikings play a Middleton squad. They got passed last season in the playoffs. The team tells me they'll need their A game tonight to achieve that same result.
They're hungry for us. Last year we ended up beating them to go to state, so they're in a great spot. And we just need to go in and beat their energy and beat their front row.
Because we played them last year and they lost and it was a game to go to state, we know that they're out for blood, really. They really are going to want to win this one. But since we did play them, we already know their weaknesses and we're going to pinpoint them and making sure that the energy is on our side the whole time.
I feel like we come out, we didn't really know how the season was going to go, obviously losing 10 seniors, but we came out really strong and we just started winning a bunch of games. I think that really got us on a good roll and we haven't really lost. I think we have like a 14-game winning streak, so it just feels good, like we're on top and we're hoping to stay there for a while.
Vikings will get that opportunity tonight against Middleton. The winner punches their ticket to the section final on Saturday. Let's take a look at all of our area teams in action tonight. Big one in Westby, Blue Golds and Norseman clashing at 7. In Division II, West Salem still live. Panthers are at home hosting Platteville, and in Division IV, Waniwak Center's at home taking on Plum City Elmwood. Madness in Madison last night. Badgers taking on #1 Nebraska in a rematch of last year's national title game. Wisconsin coming out red hot. Sarah Franklin with the kill. Badgers take the first set. Second set, more the same. Another battle, but the Badgers too much size at the net. Big block as Wisconsin goes up 2-0. Let's go to the third now. Second match point for the Badgers. And Danielle Hart is going to put this one in the books. Wisconsin knocks off #1, 3-0. It's the first time the Badgers have beaten a #1 team in the regular season since 1997. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
It is just after the bottom of the hour here on this Thursday morning, and breaking overnight, scientists have discovered 6 new species of rain frogs in Ecuador. The new species were all found in remote places in national parks on the eastern slopes of the Ecuadorian Andes. The scientists decided to name one of the species Resistance in honor of environmental activists killed in Latin America. Over the past decade, Latin America has been one of the most dangerous regions in the world for environmental advocates. Darrell Brooks, the man accused of intentionally driving an SUV into a Christmas parade crowd in Waukesha last November, was found guilty of all 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Roxana Saberi reports from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
After just over 3 hours of deliberations,
have you reached verdicts on all 76 counts?
Yes. Jurors in the trial of Darrell Brooks found him guilty of all charges stemming from last year's deadly Christmas parade crash in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty. Burn in hell, you piece of Hey, you are to be removed right now.
Brooks, who has no legal training, represented himself during the roughly 3-week trial.
To be fair, I am a lot of things. A murderer is not one of them.
He clashed with the judge throughout the proceedings.
This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful.
Prosecutors maintain the 40-year-old intentionally plowed his red SUV into the crowd after an altercation with his ex-girlfriend.
He doesn't stop. He keeps going.
Laura Thien, a performer in the parade, offered emotional testimony.
All I seen were bodies. I thought I was in a war.
Nicole White told the court she suffered 2 torn ligaments and an injured tailbone.
I just remember being struck by the vehicle from behind, on my back.
Brooks sat mostly with his head down as the judge read guilty verdicts on all 76 counts.
We are satisfied that this defendant has been held accountable for his actions.
He faces a mandatory life sentence in prison on each homicide count. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Both the prosecution and defense will head back to court on Monday to discuss sentencing. Well, back here in western Wisconsin, new data shows Gunderson Health System ranks at the top for local diabetes care and is #1 statewide in cervical cancer screenings. The Wisconsin Collaborative for Healthcare Quality released that data, which focuses on the health of certain populations. Leaders at Gunderson say diabetes is a growing issue in the La Crosse area, but if healthcare providers can help patients prevent and control their diabetes, it can help prevent other health problems.
When you improve
the health of your diabetic population, you've done incredible things for individual patients. For example, you've avoided things like heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure, amputations, blindness. Those are really personal things that if we can help patients live a better life through better diabetic control, we've improved the health of the whole community.
Gunderson also ranked high for depression screenings, vaccinations in adolescents, and breast cancer screenings. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is launching a new requirement to track down cancer-causing forever chemicals across the state. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains how the DNR hopes this effort will get them one step closer to a solution.
Beginning November 1st, the DNR will require Wisconsin cities with populations of over 50,000 to test their water for PFAS. Here in La Crosse, some of that testing has already begun.
Water is life.
Human beings are mostly composed of water, so everything that we ingest has a direct correlation on our health.
But for those whose water is contaminated with PFAS, water can cause more problems than it solves.
Consuming these chemicals over time at levels that we suspect health-based effects can happen, that, detrimental to people's health.
In hopes of tracking down PFAS levels across the state, the Department of Natural Resources has a new testing requirement. The tests look for dangerous levels of PFOA and PFOS.
So if a system has, any kind of water treatment, if they have filtration, disinfection, stuff like that, this sampling takes place after that.
Cities with 50,000 or more people were already able to submit their test results this month. The city of La Crosse was one of them.
If through this sampling we find out that PFAS is a big problem, of course, we will direct more resources to it.
According to a DNR database, all 8 of La Crosse's running wells have been tested. Each well had low contamination levels, none of them close to approaching a dangerous threshold. The DNR testing requirement will eventually apply to smaller municipalities. But for those who live in the town of Campbell, this is not a solution.
Each residence has their own well. The new requirement is for municipal water systems.
Still, for the rest of Wisconsin, the DNR says this is a step closer to more help.
Now for cities smaller than a population of 50,000 but bigger than 10,000, that testing will be required beginning February 1st. As for cities smaller than 10,000, that testing will be required May 1st. Reporting in La Crosse, this is Emily Haugen for News 8 Now.
All right, thanks a lot for that information, Emily. A representative from the city of La Crosse tells News 8 Now they did not test the wells that are currently shut down. That includes the already known contaminated wells located on French Island. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there is one UW La Crosse officer who is going all out to help find a cure. Officer Dave Pell has helped raise money for breast cancer by having a little fun in a pink tutu. Breast cancer awareness is a personal cause for Officer Pell. His mother and aunt were both diagnosed with the cancer. His mom survived breast cancer for 32 years. Officer Pell is retiring this spring, but has no plans to stop the fight or take off the tutu.
There's a good chance that I'll be back as a retiree next year, because the fact of the matter is breast cancer will still be around and we haven't found a cure, and we still need to have awareness out there.
Officer Pell has raised over $3,000 during his fundraisers. More electric vehicle charging stations are coming to rural communities. Riverland Energy Cooperative is collaborating and celebrating on a new charging station in Arcadia. This is the first Level 2 station in Trempealeau County. It's at Riverland Energy's headquarters, which is right on Highway 93. That takes an hour of charging to get your EV about 30 extra miles, so people can pay with an app on their phone or with a credit card. A La Crosse Theater Company committed to challenging conceptions is focusing its first show on abortion. Gray Area Productions is presenting a play based on the true experiences of a young military wife whose first ultrasound reveals that her unborn child has no cranium or brain. The show's co-director says a woman going through a decision like that is extremely personal. While the topic of abortion is so commonly polarizing, he says the goal is to bring nuance to a very divisive topic.
Coming back to a place where instead of focusing on our own opinions, we agree to listen to the experiences of others And I think what that does is it allows you access to your own compassion, which is really what this show is about.
The show will run until November 6th at the Pump House. Tickets are available online. We have a link to more info at news8000.com. Ballet lacrosse is hitting an exciting milestone as part of Misty's Dance Unlimited in Onalaska. They are celebrating their 10th season. This weekend they will perform Marushika and the Four Seasons at the Weber Center. The performances will feature young ballet dancers from the area, and dance teachers say that this is the perfect chance for all students, no matter their interests.
So the oldest kids, a lot of them might have aspiring dreams to be professionals one day. Maybe they do some other sport, and this is like a nice little cross training or side passion that they have. We can show some amazing talent within this, but we can also show just that love and that passion that people have.
Dancers will be hard at work at rehearsal throughout this week to prepare for their 3 performances on Saturday and Sunday.
Temperatures this morning across the Coulee region are mainly into the 20s and 30s, so pack that jacket with you as you head out the door this morning, especially to the east where we're about 5 to 10 degrees cooler. Maybe not so much in the central zones, but west across the Mississippi River, you're looking about 5 to 10 degrees warmer here this morning, and that's a sign here of what is to come later today and also throughout the rest of the week. Cloudy weather here moving in from the west this morning, and those skies will continue to increase with clouds. 57 and mostly cloudy, but slightly warmer here today thanks to that southeast wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour for tonight. 39 degrees, mostly cloudy, and a bit warmer here tonight as well with a south-southeast breeze. Light at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So for your drivecast this morning, things looking partly cloudy and looks like will remain that way for the lunch hour before we start to turn mostly cloudy late this afternoon and also through early this evening. Stay tuned. I'll have a final check on the full weather forecast in just a bit. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. Looking forward to that. Well, first, major companies and now fans, what one fan is doing after Adidas cut ties with artist Kanye West. That's coming up in the Buzz. Just ahead, it is 6:42. We'll be right back right after this.
34 degrees at the airport with mainly clear weather conditions and an east-southeast wind around 8 miles an hour. A feel-like temperature of 27 degrees when you factor in the wind. Although downtown it's 36 degrees here at the moment. Right now, current conditions in Eau Claire, mostly cloudy, 32 degrees, and winds are looking nice and calm here as well. Visibility not bad at 9 miles. Temperatures across the eastern zones are in the 20s. It's definitely a colder start here for you, while the rest of us are mainly in the 30s. And you can feel the temperature differences as you head out the door because we're about 5 to 10 degrees cooler this morning. East, central, not really looking at a whole lot of big differences though, but major differences off towards the west, warmer, 5 to 10 degrees warmer that is, just west of the Mississippi. And that is a sign of what's to come here today, because as you can see on the daycast, we'll be at 50 by noon, 54 degrees, still looking mostly cloudy. So even though we'll see some clouds, it will be a tad warmer here come later today. 9 o'clock, 48 degrees under mainly overcast skies by that point. Check out the forecast highs today. This is why we're talking about a bit of a warmer day, because yesterday was a little bit cooler than this. If you remember, high temperatures today rising into those mid to upper 50s for most of the Coulee region this afternoon. Now we're also watching some clouds here on top of that move in across the Coulee region, and there's a lot more where that came from. If you remember, we did have a high pressure system positioned over us yesterday. Now it's currently positioned across the central Great Lakes, and that system is moving our way. Meanwhile, we're talking about our next system back to the west. This is a trough of low pressure containing clouds and rain here. I don't think that rain, though, is going to make it, but we will be looking at increased cloud cover thanks to that developing system to our west. And you can see that here on Sky Tracker, showing those clouds moving in across the upper Midwest and across the Coulee region in general as well today through tonight before clearing out tomorrow. And tomorrow's pretty important because we're going to be looking at a lot of sunshine. So we got the daytime heating, plus we're going to be looking at a southeast wind flow, or a southerly wind flow that is across the area as we head into tomorrow afternoon. That is going to drive a lot of warm air north across much of the Coulee region, not just tomorrow, but also through the weekend here. And you'll notice a big difference in our high temperatures here over the next couple of days, because as we head into Friday, we'll be at 61, same for Saturday, but check out Sunday and Monday, we'll be at 63, followed by 66 degrees here as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be looking at those highs into the 60s throughout the rest of next week. week here too. So overall, a much more milder pattern here is on the way, thanks to that south wind here for us to work with here for a while. And our low temperatures, you'll also notice, will be mainly in the 40s under fair weather conditions.
In our Buzz Report this morning, as we have mentioned, many companies have been breaking ties with Kanye West, and now some fans are also going their separate ways. Check out this video of a Florida man burning multiple pairs of Yeezy shoes. So far, about $15,000 worth of those shoes have gone up in flames. The $25,000 left of Yeezys, he now says he will auction those off and then triple the profit and donate it to a charity fighting racism and anti-Semitism. Music artist Rihanna is returning to the world of music. Her new single, Lift Me Up, releases Friday for the Wakanda Forever Black Panther sequel. The song marks Rihanna's first new music as a solo artist in 6 years, and fans are speculating future releases as the singer headlines the upcoming Super Bowl halftime show in February. We have got a few birthdays to celebrate here on this Thursday morning.
A happy 8th birthday to Lydia. Now, Lydia loves to go to school and travel, so happy birthday, Lydia.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lydia. We want to wish a happy 8th birthday to Paisley this morning, and one of Paisley's requests for a birthday gift, I like this, really subtle and simple. She wanted to just be on Look Who's 8, so we're so happy to make a dream come true here this morning.
Well, your wish sure has been granted there, Paisley. Happy birthday. And we're also wishing a happy birthday to Easton today as well. Now, Easton loves hockey and spending time with his family at the cabin.
Happy birthday, Easton. Love the picture there. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, make sure you let us know.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Well, we've got your latest forecast along with everything you need to know this morning in 5 minutes or less. We hope you can stay with us. We're back here in just a few minutes. Your morning news now on this Thursday morning. A rural performance venue is expanding its types of performances. GET's Performing Arts Center has hosted school productions since it opened in November of 2020, but this year the center is bringing in non-school district performers from outside the region. 6 professional performances are coming to Galesville this year, and the center's creative team wants their rural community members to have a cost-effective means to enjoy a professional theater experience.
We are working at bringing affordable arts to rural Wisconsin. So we're looking to reach people in the entire western Wisconsin area.
If you are interested in buying tickets for any of the shows, we have the link available at news8000.com. More electric vehicle charging is coming to rural communities. Riverland Energy Cooperative is celebrating a new charging station in Arcadia. This is the first Level 2 station in Trempealeau County. It's at Riverland Energy's headquarters, which is right on Highway 93. It takes an hour of charging to get your EV about 30 extra miles. People can pay with an app, with their phone, or with a credit card.
Temperatures are in the 30s this morning under partly cloudy conditions. We will be looking at the upper 40s come 11 o'clock, followed by the 50s later this afternoon under mostly cloudy skies, but overall slightly warmer though today.
In other news this morning, the Challenge Academy is reeling in the fun. For the next 3 days, 72 cadets will camp at Camp Decorah to learn how to catch and clean fish. Many of these cadets have never been fishing or camping before, and one cadet says he looks forward to this new opportunity.
I'm really excited because I've never been fishing before, or I probably have, but I forgot. I probably didn't do well or catch anything at all. So I'm hoping like I can catch a fish so I can keep it and eat it for myself.
Cadets will also go on a 10-mile hike and receive their dog tags once they reach the top of the bluff. Cadet Hughes says this is the moment he and his peers have been waiting for, and he is glad the Challenge Academy has given him the courage to change.
Ever since I've been here, I'm really grateful for this academy. Like all the benefits, pre-wrap plans, all of that, they set me up for a lot of success for my future self. I just want to give my thanks basically to the academy for even like accepting me.
Officials at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Refuge joined the cadets on the camping trip to give them helpful fishing tips.
And as you head out the door this morning, we are looking at temperatures well into the 30s. Partly cloudy conditions through noon, 50 degrees there. And later this afternoon, we'll be warming up to about 57 while still remaining mainly cloudy today.
Well, at least we had a little bit of sunshine out there.
A little bit, yeah. So yeah, enjoy it while you can.
You probably noticed a new background here. Our studio is getting a facelift.
It is, yeah.
A change. So
I think it's pretty cool, though. We can see the newsroom, though.
Channel our inner Peter Jennings out here in the newsroom. Thank you for joining us. CBS Mornings follows us here, and don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 5 a.m., and we hope you have a great day.